locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Rasslin.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Duke Worldwide! That's right, baby. Welcome back to Duke Loves Rasslin, the show that covers all things pro wrestling and everything else. And as you know, I am the Duke, and you're hearing my voice, and my voice only right now, because my illustrious former co-host / producer, the Boston bad boy, Iron Mike Pelosi, he quit. Huh? Yes, that's right, folks. If you listen to our 2-year anniversary special, episode 104, you heard the Boston bad boy run his mouth and carry on and bellyache about 2 years of how terrible everything was and blah, 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 blah. So he quit. And you know what? I said, okay, pal, see you later. All right? So what did I do? I took a week off last week. I went online. I compiled my list of potential new co-hosts. Okay, got all the resumes that came in and what have you. And I was going to have some folks who was going to do an interview this week with a bunch of folks. That was going to be the show. Okay, who is going to be the new co-host of the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast? Because you know, baby, I don't look back. I keep moving forward. Okay? But what happens? I show up to the secret location. Okay? I had my IBC cream soda made with real cane sugar. Delicious stuff here. And who is standing at the door with this ridiculous look on his face? Who was it, folks? Huh? You guessed it, the blast from the past.
You know, you are, once again, a vile human being to start out with.
Oh,
and
really?
also, someone who's completely out of touch with reality.
Oh.
Because the fact of the matter is, I quit this show very happily, took a week off to collect my thoughts because after 2 years of the constant harassment and abuse and dealing with the complete inanity of your commentary, I needed to recuperate. I checked myself into a nice rehab facility for exhaustion.
A mental hospital.
Much like Elton John.
Yeah.
And I come back to the house, and there's a letter. Certified letter from your attorneys. Who, you must be paying them pretty good.
Yep.
Found some obscure clause in the contract. But here's the thing. This contract, this letter, it's worth nothing. Nothing.
You came here to do that?
That's right.
Is that what you came here to do?
And throw it in your face.
Okay.
You know why?
He threw it in my face.
Because
He really threw it in my face.
Because you are nothing but a no-good, ass-dragging, boot-licking, no-good son of a gun, and I'm going to have these alligators tap dancing all over your face.
Oh.
So if I got to sit here for this show, I'm going to tell you something, Jack. My lawyers, and I got real ones, not these. It's not even a real letterhead. I got real. Did your mother type this up for you? Can't believe you'd have her involved in something like this.
Shout out to my mom. Hi, Mom.
I'm settling this once and for all. If it has to go to litigation, it will. That's all I'm letting you know.
Is that what you want to tell the world?
No, because here's what's going to happen. Aside from that, I've been getting inundated with messages of people who don't want to confront your sensibilities. They know how delicate you are.
Oh, here we go.
And you might, jump off an overpass.
Here we go.
That they find this show unlistenable when it's just you. That they find this show actually goes backwards. It's almost as if you're speaking in reverse. That's how bad this show is. So the subhumans, they need structure. The subhumans need an authority figure. The subhumans need someone to tell them what's right and what's wrong. And that person is not you, nor has it ever been. That person, as you know, is me, the Boston bad boy that keeps you in line. So here's how this is going to work. I'm doing this show. My attorneys are calling your attorneys, and we'll play it by ear how it goes from there.
Play it by ear?
Yeah.
Wow, don't do me any favors, pal. Listen.
Oh, do you any favors? You know how many listeners you lost? You got nobody.
Hey.
Nobody listening.
I had people coming in.
Oh, get the hell out of
They
here.
were going to do interviews. That was going to be the whole show.
You know, it's nice they tell you that. It's like when you tell Nana, we're not going to the hospital, Nana. We're going to go visit the nice flower shop, and then you have to take her because she's lost her mind.
Oh,
she's got to go to the
So you
hospital.
call me Nana now.
Well,
Got it. Yeah.
with the fanny pack, if the shoe fits. If the shoe fits.
Oh, my God. I don't know what to do with this guy today, folks. Well, anyways, what are the top stories in the world of professional wrestling?
I don't care.
We're going to find out anyway during Run the Ropes. Scottie Richardson, my man from Wrestler Weekly. He's the coach. He wrote a fantastic book, Family, Bacon, and Rasslin. Going to interview him on that. And if the Boston Bad Boy behaves himself, maybe I'll allow him to sit in on that interview.
You know, I'm writing
'cause
all this
Scottie's a
down, by
good
the
guy.
way, because there will be a deposition, and all of this recording is all going into it, okay? You're not helping your case at all
Oh, give me a break.
with these defamatory remarks.
Listen, my lawyers come from Vince McMahon, so you can come with it.
Well, you know
okay?
what? Is
you
he
can come
write,
with it.
Is he writing their script, too?
Okay,
Because
well,
that's all he knows how to do is write horrible scripts.
Don't be rude. All that plus so much more, folks.
Since you got me here, and since I can no longer allow you to just traipse around this podcast doing
boy.
willy-nilly,
Oh, boy.
you're losing audience members faster than Trump is losing attorneys, I thought I would pull the reins in and bring someone on this show who really has a lot to offer, someone who's been on this show before, someone who you really enjoy, someone you look up to, Duke.
Conrad. You
His
brought Conrad
name
back?
is Babomb, and welcome him back to the
my
show. Babomb, how you
God.
doing, brother?
This shit
I love
again.
how he says Conrad. He jumped right in. You could have gone through a list of like a million other people that he wanted.
Yeah, right.
Like anybody else. Did you get El Snow again? I'm not done.
Did you get Ric Flair every week? Did you get Ric Flair? Yeah, I went out of my way to get Ric Flair for you.
My way to get Ric
Yeah,
Flair.
for you.
Listen.
I tried to get Mick Foley to come in. Well, anyways, Duke, you suck.
Thanks.
I tried to get Mick Foley to come in and do like a video game stream with me once.
Yeah.
And it was going to cost me $2,500. And I'm still on the fence. I'm like,
That actually,
yeah,
I mean,
You're on the
not
fence?
really that bad.
You're on the fence?
I'm on the fence.
Give me a
yeah,
break.
because my money goes into different fundings and stuff like that.
different areas, different, secret
People
offshore
love
accounts.
they watch me just destroy Duke last week. That was her.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to talk about. There was a contest of wits, and once again, Duke was outmatched as far as I could tell.
Let's not be revisionist here, okay? Let's tell the truth about what happened, okay?
Well, okay, all right. I'm
Tell the
really
truth.
interested. I'm super interested.
All right, hold on. So a lot of times we like to come in here, fans, and we like to yell and holler. We're going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to tell the truth.
all right.
We're going to tell the truth, okay? I had a broken paddle.
A
The
paddle.
game was
you're old
skipping.
when you call it a paddle.
The game was skipping.
The game was skipping.
But the bottom line is, okay,
Okay,
I didn't
all right.
complain. I let it ride.
Old Stone Creamery.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I sat there and I beat this man, and not one, but 2 games.
Yeah.
Okay?
You didn't beat me at 2
So I should be the champion.
I believe it was the great Billy Mitchell that said, "I had a bad paddle."
Yeah,
That's right.
That's
right.
That's the classic.
Shout out to my good
response.
man,
Yeah.
Bill Mitchell. Yeah, that's my friend. That's my friend.
Jesus. All right, but Bob, can we have the truth? We've
That
had
is the truth. No,
Duke's
he's done. That is the
hallucination. What's the truth?
What do you mean? What's the truth? I smoked him. I mean, there's no question. There's not like, what do you mean the truth? It's visually out there. There's nothing like, this isn't like me telling you that I'm going to change America in any way. This actually happened, and the reality of the situation is Duke. I mean, like, look, Duke, you should stick to what you're good at.
We haven't figured out what that is.
Yeah, I
yet.
was going to say I'm not sure what it is. I'm sure it's eating or something.
Basket weaving, maybe. I think
Basket weaving.
you might have some hidden talent. Crocheting.
Are you going to lie and not tell the fans that I destroyed you in, what was that, Muscle Bomber? What was the name of that game?
You did. You beat me in Muscle Bomber. You did do it.
Oh, I did, didn't I? And
Is
what
that-
was
You beat me in Muscle Bomber.
Does that require a lot of repetitive motions with the right hand? Because that's
Well,
something
it's
I think
like, you know
he'd be.
what it is?
That's something he's really attuned to.
I felt bad for the fella when we started playing.
Sure, because you have a heart like me.
And I played with 2 characters that I don't normally play with.
Oh,
I
here
beat
we
him-
go.
I mean, I smoked him right outright.
Here we go.
I think I probably had 90% of my health when I beat you with Mike Hager.
Okay.
And then I played with 2 other characters that I wasn't familiar with just because I wanted to show the audience something. It's not always about Duke. But I was confident that the next 2 games would have gone in my favor regardless.
Well, the last game, I was completely ripping you apart, and I never played that game before. What was the name of the game?
The game Ultimate Muscle,
Huh.
Legends versus New Generation.
I was killing him.
Yeah, it was,
Backbreaker, the whole
true.
9 yards.
There was backbreakers everywhere. That's actually a really fun game if you haven't checked it out.
Sure.
I really enjoyed it. You remember the little muscle figures when we were kids? They were like the flesh-colored figures.
Yes,
You
yes.
get them in the machines for 25 cents.
Yep.
What system was that we were playing that
That was on the GameCube. Yeah.
I was killing him on GameCube, but
It
I
was
never
really good
touched the
for his
GameCube.
hands because he's got the little hands.
Yeah.
So the controller was very comfortable.
Yeah, right.
for him.
Yeah, exactly. He gets intimidated when he's getting something.
True.
He's never really had anything big in his hands, so he really has to.
Unreal.
Wow.
He really has to work his way up, I think.
Unreal.
And really, you're doing a public service, Babomb, because no one will hang with Duke socially. And the fact that you got him out of the house and let him think he might have a chance
I
to
want
win,
to
it was
talk
very
about
nice of you.
his minions that were on the stream live, like talking nonsense to me, like they have some sense. I'm going to tell you right now, some of you guys out there, Ashley and the rest of you, I'm not a fan of any of you. Just so you know, okay?
Wow.
You're off my Hanukkah card list, all of you.
Wow.
Okay?
You know, Duke, I wanted to give you redemption a little bit. I did. I wanted to. I'm having a very special contest for my birthday,
Uh-oh.
and I wanted to give you the ability to practice for the next year.
For the next year. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Oh, no kidding, no kidding.
Babomb, you know that I am your video game master. So the fact that you want to play these games around everybody else, pretend like you didn't make the thing glitch, that you didn't give me the bad controller, that you didn't have the lady in there who was making noise.
Wait, hold on, time out. Was it a bad controller or a bad paddle? Like, were you on a boat or what were you
It was a
doing?
glitch. The glitch.
You were doing all of this.
The glitch gremlin.
Now you want to sit here and you want to pretend, and that's fine. But you and I know what really happened, okay? We know what
Kicked
happened.
your ass. I'm getting tired. I'm so tired of explaining it. It's almost silly.
Boy, I got to say, coming back to this show, it's all worthwhile to hear the truth from a guy like Babomb.
Give me a break. You know what the problem is? His dad is a fan of mine.
Oh, boy.
And
Here we go.
it just eats him up inside. I talked to his father before the event, and his father was, great to talk to Duke and all that. He didn't say it was great to talk to Babomb, but he did say it was great to talk to the Duke. It eats him up inside that his own father, his own family, enjoys talking to the Duke. That's the problem here. Okay?
Yeah. Is that what happens?
That's what happened.
All right. That's funny. I will say it was funny. My father did call me yesterday, and we had a live broadcast going because we have multiple people working for us. Something Duke will never get to, I'm sure.
Oh, here we go.
And he called me up yesterday, and he goes, "Hey, I just want to let you know, we want to visit your grandmother on Sunday morning, and for Mother's Day." And then he goes, and visit your mother in the afternoon. I said, "Okay." And he goes, "Okay, you can go back to streaming." And I go, "I'm not on right now." And he goes, "Okay, I'll talk to you later." And I go, "Wait a minute, hold on. My father literally called me if I was streaming." Like, you got to think about that logic for a minute. I got off the phone, and it dawned on me. I'm like, he didn't give a crap that I was in the middle of work. He just called me.
Yeah.
I told him to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
That's it. Just to straighten you out there.
We're worried that we might have our house bugged because one of my roommates, the lovely Erin, as you call her, Duke, she made the slip and slide joke, and it showed up the next day on your Duke Loves Wrestling page.
Listen. I will not admit to anything.
Yeah, I know you won't.
But
Creepy.
Big
Very
Brother is
creepy
listening.
thing, yeah.
That's right. We're talking to Babomb, the guy who continues to lose to me in video games. It's very important. Babomb.
Yeah.
You watched the Greatest Royal Rumble.
I sure did. Let me get this out before we get into this. Dylan Cuthbert from Q Gaming, the guy who created Star Fox and Star Fox 2.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice guy. We've become friends, actually, over the past couple of weeks, which was really cool. We're doing a big birthday giveaway, so I want to throw this out to everybody who's watching on XBit. We're going to be giving away over 15 prizes, including video games, download codes, plush toys, pop caps, and the grand prize of a Super Nintendo Mini. Sword is also going to be giving away several T-shirts that are special for the event, and it's for my birthday, May 25th. So I want everybody to join us on there. But the birthday present, the little gifts that I'm giving to everybody, those are for them. The real birthday present is over the next year. I'm going to be going back and taking and doing YRG, DDP yoga, and I'm going to lose 50 pounds, and that's my goal for the next year. So
you see that? The man is going into training because he knows that I'm going to beat him at WrestleMania 3.
No.
So he's going to train. He's going to lose weight. He's going to get his act together, and then he's going to lose to me.
Duke, I recommend you join me, by the way. That's the reason why I was bringing it up.
Yeah, you didn't let him finish his thought.
Yeah, he interrupted me. I just wanted to say, we ordered a Sicilian half-pan pizza.
Oh,
there
my
was
God.
about a tenth of a pan left when he was done
We
with it.
tore that pizza up, boy.
I like how he says
good,
we.
wasn't it?
Yeah. There's a frog in your pocket. What do you mean is we? I have a feeling you went a little
And
bit. You went head first.
The pterodactyl wings were not bad either.
Oh, pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie's.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what were you saying? Greatest Royal Rumble. Let me get back to your Markness. What were you saying? here?
This is a
Greatest
wrestling
Royal-
podcast. I don't know if you knew that there, Babomb.
That's what it is.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
The listeners don't either. Don't worry about it.
Jeez, thanks. So, what did you think of the pay-per-view? Because this was something
I
totally
loved it.
out of the blue here, where they
I
just
loved
did
it.
this.
I really did.
Uh-oh, wow. Really?
I really enjoyed the pay-per-view. I thought the opening. I think the 205 guys should have gone on as the opening match. That's my first qualm with it. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. You could tell Cena wasn't as buff as he normally is, so you could see him and Triple H out there having a good time, making it easier. He looked a little tired. He looked like he'd been going through a lot, which makes sense. And Undertaker's "Bury Me Softly" match with Rusev was fun to watch. And let me think. I love the Hardys. I love Matt Hardy winning. I love Jeff Hardy retaining. I'll tell you, Jinder Mahal's like complete miss from when Hardy was doing a backflip off the rope.
Oh yeah,
that was like that was embarrassing. That was more embarrassing than Titus O'Neil. Like that was embarrassing, and I don't see them broadcasting that all over the place.
True.
I think Braun was a great pick. I think Braun did a great job. I think Big Cass's screech when he hit the ropes was real. He really hit it hard. You could see that man was in pain. His testes no go. But I think all in all, I thought it was a really entertaining pay-per-view. I really did. I really loved the pyro.
The pyro was awesome.
I missed that. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
I think the finish, and this is the first time you're ever going to hear me say this. Now, not that we haven't seen a finish like that before, but I think the finish of the Reigns-Lesnar match was really good. I think it was a great spot for them. The AJ Shin match was the only one I was really disappointed in. And because I don't like disqualifications. It's just personal.
Yeah, that finish was trash, and it was an otherwise great match.
Yeah. But when the finish is trash,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like how I felt with the Charlotte Asuka match at Mania.
Yep.
I loved the match, but the finish
was not.
It just wasn't didn't have me in it. So like when I'm not in with the finish, the whole match to me becomes rubbish.
Sure.
But I mean, honestly, I thought it was a really fun show. I really enjoyed it. I think it was a little long, but I mean, you got 7 titles on the line.
Sure.
And,
was it too close to WrestleMania?
Absolutely. Yeah, because Backlash is this weekend.
Yeah, that's just too much, man.
I mean, that's a lot
for
of
me
wrestling.
To say that. It's too much.
Yeah, no, with pay-per-views, we're talking we've already had 14 hours of pay-per-views already in the past 3 weeks.
That's crazy.
So we have 14 hours of pay-per-view. We have another 4 or 5, depending on how much you watch of the pre-show, coming up this Sunday. That's in a month. So that's just pay-per-view. That's 21 hours of pay-per-view in 1 month, or 4 weeks, really.
Thank God it was only $9.99.
Thank God it's only $9.99. I'll watch anything. You know, I really enjoy it. I can't wait for the Edge and Christian podcast.
See, you couldn't. This guy couldn't go through, and I was hoping that you would do it. You couldn't go through one appearance without talking about Edge.
No, I'm an Edge.
You were such a mess. You know
I'm
that?
I'm a mark for Edge.
A mess.
I'm a mark for Edge, and I'm a mark for Miz. What are you going to do?
Adam Copeland, if you're listening to this, which I'm sure you are, I'm just going to tell you something right now. I don't like you.
No,
I don't like your face. I didn't like you when you had long hair with short hair. I am so glad I don't have to look at you every Monday night anymore because, quite frankly, you were the second fiddle to Christian, pal. That's right.
That's crazy.
That's right.
Yeah,
I said it.
I said it. That's. You know, it's funny because the only podcast I listen to is theirs. So.
Well, your dad listens to mine, so I'm not worried about that.
The only wrestling podcast. Let me plug it really quick. You can see a lot of awesome.
You know what's
We'll
funny?
bleep that out.
What's funny, Babomb? That's the only wrestling podcast I listen to as well. So you got a kindred spirit here.
All right, how can folks get to your Expert Gaming there, Babomb?
Of course, you go on Expert Gaming on Facebook. That's the only way to reach us. We're endorsed by Facebook, so we're a Facebook-only stream team, and we've got a lot of great people on the stream team. We've got Sword, who does all the merchandise, Wiki Gaming 617, who does the video games. We've got Lame Genie, who does all the music, which did your intro music. What do you think of that?
It was awesome.
Does Duke's intro music. That was Earthworm Jim's Welcome to Deathland for you. And then we've got, of course, ADD Gamer, Viper's Fury 86, One Coin Only, who just finished a 24-hour stream marathon. Absolutely insane. Like, at the end of it, I thought he was going to die.
Wow.
And then we've got 8-Bit Steve, and we've got Spinback Retro Gaming. You should play this, and, of course, myself, XBit, Captain XBit, Babomb 1337. So, you know, that's what we do here. Sorry, just finished eating dinner. I had a little burp in between there. Felt good.
Well,
Keep it classy.
Just do me a favor, okay?
What am I going to do now?
If you ever play anyone else in video games, because, I mean, playing me is playing the best, so I understand that. But everybody else, just don't give them a bad paddle and make sure the game doesn't skip. All right? Just
love
do
it.
that.
Like, you sound like a 70-year-old woman.
Oh.
You just say,
They steal things from me.
Yeah.
Where's the there's a gremlin of glitches.
Ah, my remote. I got all these remotes. I can't find my stories.
My pants.
Yeah,
My-
go ahead.
I'm trying to
Just
find
keep
Judge
going.
Judy.
Just keep
but
going.
the remote's not working.
Was that more pizza?
Babomb, as always, thank you so much for coming here, bringing a little reality into the show, which has just lost its way many, many times and a long time ago.
Don't
so
come back.
We appreciate
Don't
you
come
coming on.
Yeah, I don't
And
appreciate it.
we'll be getting Duke set up to be slaughtered again soon.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Boston Bad Boy and Duke. I mean, not thank you, Duke. Just there you are.
Well, there you are indeed. Once again, got your hat handed to you.
You know, when
As
you
you
said,
should.
When you said you were going to bring on someone that I look up to, that I respect,
You do.
revere,
You do. You have to, because he schools you every time.
Babomb is never on that list, just so you know. Don't bring that guy back here. All right? If you're going to be back on this show, you're going to bring
I'm not
on...
going to be back on this show.
You're going to
I'm
bring
here
on
now.
guests.
I'm here now so that you can't pull some other loophole that I wasn't here under your stupid contractual obligations.
break.
I'm here today.
Listen, pal.
Today.
I told you, ironclad. Okay? You better get that tattooed on your forehead or something.
I got to
You look in the mirror,
my
you see
foot
it.
in your ass and see how you like that.
Run the ropes. It's time to run the ropes. It's when I educate this knucklehead Boston bad boy on the top 5 stories in the world of professional wrestling. Let's go.
No, I'm not hitting the bell.
What?
No, I'm not doing it.
What is this?
Because
Why are you here?
No, I'm looking through the thing, and I'm not supposed. It doesn't say I have to hit the bell.
You have to hit the bell.
No, you know what? You hit the bell.
I'll hit the bell. But I'm not going to hit the bell on my own show ever again, all right?
Yeah.
That's not how this works.
I think you're
here.
doing a lot of bopping to the
That's
bell.
not
if you know
how
what
this
I'm
works
talking about.
here. You hit the bell when I tell you to hit the bell.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? Yeah. Jesus. See what you folks have got me into here? I was doing well until this guy showed up with this attitude today. It just,
Well,
it's
then you
2
get
years.
your
and then-
stupid your lapdog
no,
attorneys
no,
off
this
my
is your
back.
punishment here, pal. Braun Strowman wins the greatest Royal Rumble. Can you believe it? Now, this was kind of weird because Strowman won the greatest Royal Rumble. There was 50 men in that thing, and he was the last man standing. This all happened at the greatest Royal Rumble pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia. But the thing is, Strowman was awarded this huge trophy, which was massive, like literally the size of him, and then he was given a championship. It was a green championship belt, and I don't understand it. So is he going to defend the championship? I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, and I don't care. I just thought you'd like to know that.
Thanks. He's very rude, folks. Rey Mysterio back in the WWE. That's right, folks. It wasn't a fluke. Rey Mysterio Jr., he's back. He's been appearing on some of the shows. He was at the Greatest Royal Rumble. We're talking about the legend, the little guy. You know he's my size, Rey Mysterio Jr., and he's out there against giants.
And what have you done? Nothing. Nothing.
What do you mean, what have I? I've done it all. What do you mean?
You know, he took something that was a detriment, to, let's be quite honest, and turned it into something. And you've just whimpered away and done nothing with it.
Shout out to Rey Mysterio Jr., 619. I am a legend. WWE signs a 10-year deal with Saudi Arabia.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, get that oil money while the oil money's good.
Listen, you be nice about that. It was a very great business decision.
Yeah,
that was made on
don't
it.
show an ankle, though, because they'll chop your head off.
All right.
Yeah. Let's again,
Okay,
as if the WWE could be more backwards
There we go.
on what's going on between men and women and workplace and all this stuff. They go and sign a deal with a country that, let's be honest, it's shaky ground.
When you pump your gas, you're supporting that same country. So shut your face.
I don't buy gas, dummy.
Oh.
I have an electric car.
I forgot about that.
And I charge it with a little windmill. And I put your face on it so I can see it every morning when I leave.
Wow, that's kind of weird. He's very temperamental today, folks.
I also have your face on my toilet seat, so I just thought I'd follow up with that.
Come on, give me a break. Women not allowed to wrestle at the greatest Royal Rumble.
Really? Interesting.
So, as we know, folks, Saudi
I love
Arabia.
how you divided those up into two different things now.
What's wrong with that?
Because you wanted to stop me from just getting on a head of steam
Damn
going
right.
here.
I can't deal with you.
Why aren't women allowed to wrestle in the
Saudi
greatest Royal
Arabia,
Rumble?
it's against the rules for women to play sports, to show skin, to do these things that are against their religion and rules and all that.
Someone I know is very famous for saying everything is political. Religion is BS because there's plenty of religions in the world that allow for the modern world and allow for the understanding that men and women are very close to being equal as far as it comes to sports or whatever else. Saudi Arabia does this to keep a political control over a country, and it's disgusting, and it's also something that's just hand in hand with WWE. They love Saudi Arabia because it just appeals to their inner sexist tendencies.
Stop it.
Because Saudi Arabia is never going to call them out for treating women poorly or differently. Saudi Arabia is never going to call them out for their men acting violent against their wives and girlfriends. So let's sign a 10-year. Why don't we just move the headquarters of WWE to Saudi Arabia while we're at it? Just make it all happen.
Saudi Arabia, the Duke, I don't agree with everything you got going on there, but it's your country. You do what you got to do.
It's shameful, and it's more shameful. You got to do what you got to do. That's shameful.
It's their country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and WWE's an American company. So you know what? It's time for a come to Jesus moment with Mr. Vince McMahon.
Or Muhammad. Allah. The number one story in the world of professional wrestling is Titus O'Neil takes a tumble.
Yeah.
So this poor guy, he was running to the ring during the greatest Royal Rumble, and he tripped.
Where women weren't allowed to wrestle.
And he tripped and slid underneath the ring.
That old gag.
Well, it wasn't a gag. It really happened. Unfortunately, though, Vince McMahon told the guys in the production truck to keep on showing it.
Well, listen, sometimes it's comedy gold, but we know, as we've said before, Vince McMahon is an abusive person.
No.
And he likes to abuse the people that work for him.
You're not going to do this now. After 2 years, can't you give that up?
No, listen.
He's my friend.
This is what I'm here.
He's my friend.
You want me in this contract? This is what I do.
No, he's my friend.
No, you don't have friends.
Okay.
Never mind, Vince McMahon. You don't have friends. You don't have friends. You don't have Conrad isn't your friend.
Well,
Babomb is not your friend.
Well, I don't
Nobody's
like
your friend.
I don't like Babomb anyway. Titus O'Neil, shout out to you. But listen, this could be the greatest thing that ever happened to him. Okay, he's going to be known as the guy that trips over stuff. That's great.
Didn't George Bush got really popular after he tripped coming off that airplane?
What does that have to do with Titus O'Neil? He's a big guy.
Yeah, well, it's going to embarrass him into being a lovable, bumbling moron.
He's not a moron.
Think about it. If George Bush could be the lovable, bumbling moron who is a war criminal, I mean, he got away with being a war criminal because everyone thinks he's a kindly grandfather now. This guy, he might just have a whole career ahead of him where people just like him because he's that goofy, tumbling, funny guy.
What's wrong with you?
Well, what's wrong with me? I'm still sitting here. That's what's wrong with me.
You've heard what I think. Now, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm a jerk? Maybe something in between? Head over to Facebook. Head over to Twitter. Type in Duke Loves Rasslin and let me know. Boston Bad Boy, fix your attitude. That's what I'll say to that. Up next, we got him, the coach, Scottie Richardson.
Somebody said something about fired up. This is Tommy Wildfire Rich coming to you live. You're listening to my man, Duke Loves Rasslin.
So, Scottie, I've been checking it out online since the book has been released, and wow. I mean, the social media response has been pretty impressive here. Overall, though, how has the book been doing? Have you been getting a lot of sales, a lot of good buzz going on?
Yeah, it's funny. Going well. And first, thank you for having me on your show, and congratulations on 2 years. Fantastic achievement.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's funny because I got a message from friends of ours on Twitter, the Wrestle Hub, and from Newcastle, England. and even they put us over, and so that was fantastic last night. So it's been great, and I'm just glad that it's finally out. As you know, it's been a bit of a process. So and thank you, Duke, for being one of the official reviewers on the book.
Damn right.
Now, Scotty, let's cut to the chase before I get into why you would ever have Duke be an official reviewer. What is this, a cookbook? Is this a wrestling book? Because the title's throwing me off here. It's making me very hungry, and I just need to know before we get into it, do I get any bacon at the end? Jesus.
You know, it's funny. That's a great question because we got that on Twitter. A friend of the show and your buddy Duke chimed in and gave his.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
So,
he does that a lot, even when you don't want it to.
But no, it's the bacon is so vital. You know, a lot of people grew up wrestling fans via their grandmother, grandfather, aunts, uncles, parents, what have you. But for me and my brother, Saturday morning, sleeping, thinking you're sleeping in, but when you smelled the bacon and you opened your eyes, it was like this fog of smoke that filled the house. And that was like, oh, man, we have to get up. Wrestling is almost on. And so that was the big thing is my mom, my grandfather, my grandparents. I mean, it was like a family event to sit down on Saturday morning and eat your breakfast, eat the bacon, smell the bacon, and then watch Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, Blackjack Mulligan, Ric Flair, Wahoo. I mean, that was the deal.
So how does Scottie Richardson like his bacon? Are you a chewy bacon guy or like an extra crispy? We'll move on, but I just need to know.
Absolutely. Extra crispy.
Wow.
Well done. I want to, now I like my steaks rare. It's a little different, but bacon, I want it crispy. I want the crunch.
He likes the little crunch there. Listen to this guy. You know who has a good bacon right now is Dunkin' Donuts.
Get out the
They
hell
got
out
a
of here.
brown sugar bacon that is just.
It was made in a factory.
Well, it's still
400
delicious.
miles away.
Well, Scotty, we'll have to talk to your wife and see if she can make some of that brown sugar bacon, man. 'Cause that's the stuff right there. So
that's right.
This is an interesting thing here, Scotty, because I know that you and I have been good friends here, and you're a wrestling historian and someone that I really enjoy talking wrestling with and following your social media pages, Wrestler Weekly and what have you. You really know your stuff, which is fantastic. When you originally decided you were going to write this book, was it originally a wrestling book and it evolved into everything else? Was it originally a family book and then you added the wrestling in? Like your original concept with this, was it consistent throughout or did it evolve?
That is the best question, Duke, because here's something I have not shared. This is how this happened. I was writing a book about my favorite wrestling event, which is the Super Bowl of Wrestling from January of 1978 in the Orange Bowl in Miami. WWF World Champion Superstar Billy Graham putting the belt up against the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Harley Race, belt for belt. First time that it had happened, and it was in the Orange Bowl in Miami. So I was writing that story, but I had to, as a kid, this was late 70s, so there was no internet. It wasn't there. You couldn't. The only way you researched, and I lived in Mid-Atlantic, so it wasn't like we were in New York and we weren't in Florida where these were promoted. And so through the wrestling mags, Inside Wrestling, The Wrestler, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, that came a little bit later, but in the late 70s, that's how we got our wrestling information.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't on TV. You had to go through the wrestling mags. And so wrestling magazines and I'm a big collector, so having those magazines was so vital. And so the story was my finding this match and finding it in the mags. But as I was writing the book, I have a friend of mine who is a tenured English professor at NC State here in Raleigh, and he was giving me some advice. He said, "You know what, Scotty, you should take this project and split it in half. You should do a manuscript of just who you are, what your family's about, how you got involved in being a fan, and that should be like book one. And then when you write book two, and he said, look, the first book's probably not, Family Bacon Rasslin, probably not going to be a big seller. But he said, when you start writing about wrestling events or people or those kinds of things, people are going to latch on. They're going to catch on. They're going to want to know, who is Scottie Richardson? And you're already going to have Family Bacon Rasslin out there, and then we'll see what happens. So I took that advice, and that's how this book was kind of spawned, and it's been great. I'm really glad I did it.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. And I got to know, how has the family reacted since the book has been out?
A little bit of, at first, a little bit of mix, because our family's very private. My dad's a Vietnam vet, old school. He was a basketball coach for 45 years in high school in Florida, in Jacksonville, Florida, and so at first, he didn't, because he's a little bit ashamed of the story that's in the book about how he, became so religious. And thanks to Kevin Sullivan, we had moved to Florida in 1981. Kevin Sullivan had the Satan, the devil gimmick, right, with the Army of Darkness, that whole thing, Purple Haze, and so my dad, with the blood on the magazines, right, all the blood on the magazines, and Kevin Sullivan, it put him over the edge. And so Reggie, my brother, and I were banned. We came home one day from school, and all of our wrestling stuff was gone. He had gotten rid of it, burned it in the backyard, actually, that I write about in the book. I thought he threw it away, but my mom pulled me to the side when I was writing the book and said, you might want to get the real story here. But since then, my dad loves wrestling. He DVRs it every week. We still argue over the current product of what's good and what's not. And but the family's reacted very well.
Well, and shout out to your dad, the coach, the pastor, the military vet, the Swiss Army knife. That's what I call him there.
That's right.
Brother Richardson there. I appreciate him very much there.
Now, we already talked about how you may have made one misstep by having Duke as a reviewer on the back cover.
Would you stop it?
But you actually have some legitimate big names on there. So how did you get them on there, and what made you think that Duke belonged anywhere near these guys?
I'll answer your latter question first. Duke, I went back and looked, Duke, in December 27th of 2016. Wrestler Weekly was born in October of 2016, so just 2 short months later, you and I became friends. And
sorry to hear it.
What Wrestler Weekly is about is those relationships that you built over wrestling.
Damn right.
But Mike Mooneyham and I are very good friends because we are Clemson football fans, and that's really how we kind of began our relationship. We were Clemson football fans. I was living in Charleston, South Carolina, where Mike lives and writes his article, and so we were friends, and that helped. Mike is you talk about wrestling historian. He's in multiple Hall of Fames as a wrestling journalist. And then Jim Valley and I became friends. We met at the NWA Legends Fan Fest in Charlotte a few years ago, and Jim is hosts the Pacific Rim podcast. He's worked with PW Torch, and then he works with the Cauliflower Alley Club now. So, I got some big names that have endorsed it, and that's always good.
Damn right. And when the Duke comes in to round out that particular crowd of legends there, I mean,
boy.
Scottie, it's you put me in rare air, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, so much that I think he had a brain asphyxia.
Well, I had to tell the whole world that the Duke is on the back cover of the greatest book of all time.
Listen, if you got to brag that hard about it, maybe you're not as big and you don't belong there to begin with.
Would you stop it right now? I'm trying to have a good conversation with my man, Scottie Richardson, the coach, the author of Family Bacon and Rasslin. Now, Scottie, tell the fans about Wrestler Weekly, because you really have taken something that's an interesting concept where every single day you're posting blasts from the past and things that we grew up on as real wrestling fans and wrestling fans in particular there. Talk to us about this brand that you've created and how it's really set the whole world on fire.
Will do. I think Wrestler Weekly, and we've evolved now to where we have MacLeod, who is with us full-time and doing a lot of day-to-day operations on Twitter. We also are on Facebook and Instagram. I just wrapped up Season 2 of Wrestler Weekly Presents on YouTube, showcasing memorabilia in wrestling magazines. I had Harry Burkett, senior writer from Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Burkett is still around, huh? Shout out to Harry Burkett. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Harry Burkett, yeah. He
wow.
was a guest on my show, and it's just great. But Wrestler Weekly, we have daily themes. Sunday, we shout out people in the business or fans. Monday, we're showcasing the Monday Mag memorabilia. Tuesday, we're doing our takeaway. Mike is now doing Wrestler Weekly Live on Tuesday nights, 30 minutes before SmackDown. Wednesdays is how we really started, was the Wrestler of the Week. And we were doing a current product wrestler. And then Thursdays, we were doing the Throwback Thursday Wrestler of the Week. And it just took off to where we created these other days. Friday, we do a poll. Saturday, we show off some memorabilia. But then throughout the month, we have a monthly theme. This month is dear to my heart because we are showcasing champions from the Mid-Atlantic area, NWA U.S. champions.
Oh, yes.
Today was Wahoo McDaniel. Yesterday, we did, the first day we did Paul Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday, it's slipping my mind, Mike's the man on this. But so good. I mean, the things that we do and the fans that we meet. You know, I just had something, and I know you've seen this week, but we had a Wrestler Weekly, a fan of our brand, actually came to one of the events when I was working with Tommy in Myrtle Beach, and he passed away, 47 years old, and he was a big fan of Wrestler Weekly, and Don Graham and his family. So just want to give them, the family, some thoughts and prayers there. But and that's what it's about. I mean, we have met so many people that say, you know, I can't wait to get home from work and I had a busy day, and I just check in and see what you guys are doing and catch up on the old classic wrestling.
Well, I love it, man. I'll tell you, it's your page, all of your social media and what you do on YouTube and what have you, it really reminds me of the stuff that I like that's on the WWE Network right now. You know, when we talk about Mid-Atlantic and which evolved, it was an NWA territory and then eventually became WCW. But you show the real stuff, man. When literally you really thought that Flair was busted open and that, you know, he was injured his neck for real or Paul Jones was going to kill somebody. Harley's bounty on somebody's head was legit. Like, literally, man, this is the real deal stuff, Scotty, and that's why I enjoy your whole brand there. So if fans want to reach out to you, first and foremost, let's talk Wrestler Weekly. How can they find Wrestler Weekly online?
All right, Twitter, @Wrestler Weekly. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Go to YouTube, search Wrestler Weekly, and actually I've got all of Season 1 and Season 2, so there's over 30 episodes. There's some bonus episodes out there, so you can see all the guests. You've been a guest on my show before, Duke.
Sure have.
So we've had some great people. David Chappell from Mid-Atlantic Gateway was a guest this season. Brian Blair, George Napolitano. I mean, we've had some pretty big hitters, and so fans can reach us that way. Also, you know, go out and get the new Family Bacon Rasslin T-shirt, ProWrestlingTees.com, and you can check that out. But go to Amazon and get the book.
Yes. Now, is there a difference for it? Because I had some fans who I told them you're going to be on the show from outside of America. How does that work if they want to purchase the book?
Yeah, Amazon worldwide. So we are connected, and they can purchase that, and they could actually walk into their local bookstore and also order the book.
Beautiful.
So it's worldwide.
Beautiful. And real quick, Scotty, how's the team doing?
Great, man. Getting ready for summer practices, summer workouts, team camps, you name it.
Scotty is a coach. He's a youth coach as well. Now, Scotty, real quick, is it a high school that you're coaching at now?
Yes.
See that?
I've been a high school basketball coach for 23 years.
Wow. This guy doesn't stop.
I still need 22 to catch my dad.
Yeah. See that? You got a long way to go there.
See, Duke, you could do something with your life.
Well, I could never be Scotty, I'll tell you. That's right.
my dad and I played 2 games, and we went 500, 1-1.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's the story you tell it, huh? His name is Scottie Richardson. Please pick up the book, Family, Bacon, and Rasslin, Rasslin. Check out Wrestler Weekly on Twitter, on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. We'll be featuring Scottie on our pages there, folks. So you head over to Duke Loves Wrestling main page on Facebook and Twitter. We'll have all his information up there. Scottie, thanks for joining us again, brother.
Thank you. Really appreciate the opportunity, guys.
Hey, this is the Duke of Dorchester, the one, the only, the man of the hour. Yeah, can you handle that, baby? I want to tell you this. You've been listening to Duke Loves Wrestling.
Man, I'll tell you what. That's Scottie Richardson. That's my buddy right there.
Yeah, I like
man.
Scottie, but I still can't understand why he thought it fit to waste any ink on your review of the book, because you're nobody.
I'm a big deal around the world. You know what? I'm such a big deal around this world. Yeah. I want you to go into the mailbag right now. What do we got? It's time for Ask Duke.
Let's see. Nothing for you. Nothing. You get nothing and you like it.
This attitude all
you know
show.
What?
You know, I'm
going to say something because this may be my last show.
Oh, my Buddha. Here we go again with my last show. Every week's your last show now,
if the attorneys get their act together.
Don't do me
what I'm
any
going to say
favors.
is you got me started earlier about this whole Saudi Arabia thing.
Oh, boy.
Royal Rumble, Saudi Arabia.
The greatest Royal Rumble.
Allegedly, the greatest Royal Rumble. And Babomb had his thoughts on that, as we know. And, it's interesting because, once again, the WWE has proved that they are nothing more than a bunch of charlatans.
Oh, my God.
And the charlatan-in-chief, Vincent Q. McMahon.
Kennedy.
He has sold himself out again and sold everybody out from under him just to make a few bucks of the black gold money. That old money, boy, that's the good money. That's the good money. That's the money that just keeps on coming.
This is not the Beverly Hillbillies, all right? You watch how you
know
talk
what? The
about
Beverly
like
Hillbillies actually were smart about their money. They were nice people. They bought a cement pond, the whole bit. All right? They didn't go around taking their employees to places where they're treated like third-class citizens. Oh my God. Okay? You know what I mean? So here's what I want to know. Saudi Arabia, for those people who live under a rock, is a predominantly Muslim country, and their government is a theocratic government, meaning the religion is very intertwined in the way the government runs, and that's fine. As a sovereign nation, unless you're committing atrocities of war crime, the rest of the world should just do your thing. My question is, Saudi Arabia's particular brand of government is known to treat people a certain way. The question is, why does the WWE, an American company in the middle of a women's revolution, decide to go for a cash grab in a country where, again, women especially are treated as third-class citizens? You explain that to me. Explain that to me from an ethical standpoint. Now, I know since you're friends with Vince McMahon, ethics might not be your strongest suit. But please attempt so I can laugh as you try and do it.
I'm a very ethical person. Don't try to paint me in a picture.
We'll decide that after
negative.
We'll decide after you try and talk your way out of this.
All right. First of all, the WWE is a global brand. Okay, they are providing entertainment and hope to the world. Okay?
That was me opening a beer, by the way, because I've decided I don't want to.
You're already off the rails. You might as well get drunk.
No, go ahead.
So the concept of going to Saudi Arabia and putting on this massive event, the idea is to inspire the young people. This is something that can be yours someday. Okay. They signed a 10-year deal with the national sports arm of the government. 10-year deal. So they're going to be back.
Oh, they're going to be
for
back.
the next 10 years.
That sand goes deep, my friend. That oil is deep.
Here's the
under
point.
That sand.
This was the first event. You got to give them what they. I think there's a business plan out there for this here.
Yeah.
You got to give them what they say they want, and show them that you can deliver. Right, which they did big time.
Oh, let's talk about how they delivered for a minute. Let's talk about how well they delivered. They delivered so well that when they started the show, as they always do at a live event, they run a hype package from the Jumbotron. And somebody who probably is no longer employed ran the normal package they run with the wrestlers, the moves, and the sound, and the bang, the fireworks. Unfortunately, they made the horrible mistake of running a reel that had women in it wrestling. Oh, my God. Women. Women, the givers of life on this planet. Women. They're wrestling. We can't have it. We can't have it so much that the government of Saudi Arabia had to issue a formal apology to who? I don't know. Themselves? Probably. And said that it will never happen again. It'll never happen again. We can't have these women. We can't have these women running around thinking that they're normal people, thinking that they're going to go. And we can't have them working at their job at the WWE like their male counterparts. It's obscene and it's stupid. Why is it that because it's a woman, it's okay to have them subjected to this? Now, they were paid. As far as I understand, the women who didn't perform,
they were paid very well by the WWE. Okay,
right,
very well by the WWE.
All right, I'm gonna postulate a little hypothetical and follow me along on this. You can answer this question because you are an African American person.
I am.
You work for the WWE, and I work for the WWE.
Okay.
We're wrestlers. We're in our prime. I'm a good wrestler like Roman Reigns. You're a horrible wrestler like John Cena.
You're not a good wrestler.
So, our company decides they're going to have a Royal Rumble event in a country where black folk have to drink from a separate water fountain. Now, that's horribly offensive. But they're going to pay you. You still have to go there, but you can't perform because you have to. They're not allowed. You have to go. There's a separate. But they're going to pay you. That's okay? You're telling me that's okay? Like, that would be okay. Would that? Because that's the exact same thing that the WWE is saying okay by excluding their women athletes, some of the best in the world, from participating at this huge event, which is money for them. And it's not only money. It's exposure. It's their career. It's their longevity. It's their legend. It's everything that wrestling becomes when you become the next Ric Flair. So they're full of shit when they say they're in the middle of a women's revolution and do business with a country like Saudi Arabia. And that's all I'm going to say about that, Jack.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.
Thank you to Scottie Richardson, Family Bacon Rasslin.
Look at you.
Pick it up.
Look on your face. You know I'm right.
No thanks to Babomb.
No.
Folks, I'd like to apologize for anything offensive that the Boston Bad Boy has said.
You find something offensive I said in there on the side of on the right side of history.
Anyone who's
write me a
offended
letter.
by his comments, we'll tighten him up and we'll decide if he's going to come back next week or not.
Don't do me any favors.
Yeah, well, don't do me any favors.
Well, you know what? You
you're
stick
very
up